When I think of military families in general, I just think of some of the most resilient and determined and hardworking people who sacrifice daily to support their loved ones, to support our country, to take care of their family. My name is Nicole Neilson Boodee, and I am a federally employed military spouse. My husband is active duty Air National Guard, and we live in Washington, D.C. Moving, as much as you sometimes have to move with the military, can sometimes be one of the most challenging things that I've personally gone through. Additionally, just sacrificing when your loved one deploys or goes on TDYs. My husband's going for a week next week, and then he'll be deploying in a couple of months. So just preparing for that and making sure that you're in control and you know what to do while they're gone, and you don't have that partner supporting as well for your family. For me, it's a lot of setting up new doctor's appointments, and it's very time consuming, and trying to balance moving constantly, setting up a new community, and then also balancing a career that's not an easy thing to do. And I think if you speak to most military families, they'd say it's really challenging, but we wouldn't trade it for the world. For me, it made me realize that community is everything. And I think I've always known that, but in particular, when you're moving constantly, we've had assignments. I could say we had one assignment where I said, no more, I'm going to stop trying to make friends. I'm just going to make it through, and then we're going to move again, and it'll be fine. And that was the worst assignment, right? Because I didn't have all the community, and the military life and the military way is community focused, I would say. And so when we moved, I could think of one in our last base. It was the best community I have had in so long. And now that we're here in this new base, I feel just as plugged into community. And that truly is what matters most to me, are my community, my family, and all being together. So one of the things that I have really been grateful for are these women that I work with, and also being a military family. And so I've learned a lot from them, basically just through reaching out. And I work for an agency that has a really impactful, really helpful employee resource group. So having that community and that group of people who are military wives, who are military husbands, who are children of people who are in the military, or caregivers, just like it's very broad. And so just having that group of people where we can pass ideas back and forth and share thoughts. We also it's good to have just another person to lean on when it's tough, right? So I know that there have been multiple times where we were moving and I was stressed out because I didn't have the leave for a move. So I was working while moving, and that's challenging. And I had one colleague in particular who really got it. And she was also a military spouse. And so she helped me with my work and just helped me to encourage me. And it was so wonderful to have that. And I think that if we're not talking with our other colleagues at work and getting people looped in, you might be missing out on an opportunity for a really great community. The organization that I work for has been really helpful. My boss's boss, who signed off on me being able to have a remote working agreement initially, he served in the Navy, and so he personally understood what it's like to move and to have the different challenges that come up with military families. And so I was really grateful that the agency that I work for understood it and was quick in action to help me create the structure that I needed to thrive, and so that I could maintain a career that I felt very passionate about and really excited for. They met me where I was, and I know that that's not necessarily the case for a lot of other people and a lot of agencies. So that is my hope for others, is that we can show that it's possible, that it works, and that we have so much to contribute and just to give people chances. That's really all that this executive order is for. I'm a part of an employee resource group. In fact, I'm the chair of it. I'm the co-chair with another agency, and we work daily, often outside of work hours, just so that we can help support others who are in similar situations, whether it's from our agency or if it's at other agencies, sharing best practices, giving information to leadership so that they're aware of it, so that we can codify it into policy and to change some of the policies so that it would be more open and more understanding for different people in different situations. I work for a foreign affairs organization, so a lot of what we do is foreign based, and one of the things that we would like to see is to almost create tandem couples, right? So it'd be like foreign service meets military, and so that you can live together and be posted abroad together. And so that's one thing in particular that we would really love to see come about. And there are other areas, of course, but that's one thing that has really tugged on a lot of our heartstrings, and we would like to see that happen. For me, what a win would look like is for all federal agencies and departments to come together and say that it matters to have military spouses employed. So creating pathways for them to have that employment, but then also retaining them. And so if everybody was really focused on that and made that as a priority and a core tenet of what we do, it would be really wonderful to see that in policies within different agencies, within hiring authorities, because if the structures are all there and it's all possible if we're willing to hit yes and to say that this is what we would like to see. We'd like to see military families have these opportunities, have remote opportunities so that they can take their jobs with them and so that they can contribute to their families financially. And honestly, just for me, there's this happiness that comes with having a job and a career that I feel passionate about and excited for. So that mentally, it helps me a lot with my mental health. And then I would also say something else that I would really, really love to see is when families PCS, having those leave days as an option, because there are many families like myself who use up all of my leave for PCSing and having to move, and then I don't have anything at Christmas, and so I'm working through Christmas, or I literally have never taken a vacation in my entire time working period. And that is tough, right? I would love to see that change so that we can recruit more of these families and so that we can retain them and provide them with resources that are common sense. So when I talk to friends who are leaving the service, it's usually so that they can be either co-located with their spouse, maybe they've been separated so that they can both have careers, or it's so that they can stay in one place and they don't have to move constantly. And mostly the reason for that is because spouses want to work and it's hard to maintain jobs. And some people are able to do it and it's great for them and that's awesome. But then a lot of jobs, it's not conducive for moving around. You have to be in person. And so having remote positions and jobs that are portable and can go with you wherever you're going really helps support that spouse or family member to be able to have a life of their own where they're really excited about doing a job. They're able to provide financially for their family. It's a lot easier for families when both people are able to work if they want to. If that were more standard across the board, if people were able to have jobs if they wanted them, I would think that more people would stay in the service much longer.